Hey you guys, happy Wednesday. Hopefully the signal is good because I am at baseball. I am sitting in the car, but I needed to share my systems with you, so I was committed to going live today. One way or the other, I was going to get on here and go live. And fun fact, thank goodness for the tinted windows. Nobody can see me, so it's not as awkward. But when you hop on, say hello. Let me know you're here. Let me know my signal is good because, again, I'm at the ball field, but this is just how we're going to roll tonight. Always on the go over here with baseball. Hello, hello. I am also like 2 minutes early because I wanted to be sure people got notified that I was here and everything was good to go. Hey you guys, I can see that there's 4 people watching. Can somebody just drop like a quick comment below just so I know everything is good and y'all can hear me? What time is it? 6:59. We've got 1 minute and then we are going to start. I am so excited to share my systems, a day, or I guess a week in my life of the business and what it looks like. So, hey you guys. Good, there's lots of you hopping on. Good evening. Okay, Jackie said I am good. Everybody can hear me. Good, good, good. All right. Hey, I was going to say hey friends and then hey you guys, and it got mushed together. It didn't come out right. Hey friends. Happy Wednesday. I'm sure majority of you guys know me. I am Robin Hatfield. I am the star director of Team Global Gold Diggers, and I have been doing this business for almost 6 years. And my systems, or lack thereof, in the very beginning, the first 3 years of my business, I had really no systems in place. And my business grew really fast. 2 months within my business is when I started building a team. And it just skyrocketed from there. Well, I didn't know about systems way back when. And so I will tell you firsthand that systems saved my business. There was a point when I had promoted to director, I think that was 3 years ago, but when I promoted to director a few years ago, things had gotten really hard within my business and I was hating it and I almost quit. I remember telling my husband, I was like, this is not for me. I am not going to do this business anymore. I will just reapply to nursing school. And he told me I was crazy and that I should continue on, and reminded me of everything that I had already accomplished and how far I've already come. So thank goodness for him talking me out of it. And at that point, that is when I had discovered Chloe Cox. Now, if you have not watched her live video from this, morning, afternoon, it was amazing. And when I discovered her on YouTube, that is when the game changed. That is when my business changed. And that is when I began to thrive again. So the power of trainings and investing in your business is what is going to save you and continue to help you grow. Now, systems. Systems simplify your business. Systems simplify your business. And simplifying it makes it easier, so then you can have continued success. So I am going to share exactly what my week looks like. I work 4 days a week. I work Monday through Thursday. One, because my husband's off Fridays, and who wants to work on a Friday? And Who wants to work on the weekends? That is the power of being your own boss. You can set your own schedule. But if you're going to set a schedule, you better stick to it, because if you do not stick to it, that is when your business will fail. That is why systems are so important, because once you start that system and you consistently do it, then it turns into a habit, and then it's just like another thing. You don't even have to think about it. So this is what I do. Mondays, mail day. Now, I have 5 kids. 4 of them are in school, and my toddler, who turns 2 this month, she takes a nap from 1 to 3. I have her on a routine. She knows it is nap time about 1 o'clock, and she naps 1 to 3. That means I only have 2 hours during the day to make sure that I am very intentional and very productive, and I get my things done. So 2 hours times 4, that's 8 hours a week. That's what I work. Now, my schedule is flexible, meaning it can change. I can add and I can take out things, because I am also a stay-at-home mom. So Monday is mail day. That is my main task for the day. And what I do is in my system for my mail is pen and paper. Because y'all know I do no more than 2 stamp mail. That is just what my budget can afford, and I still need to make sure I am servicing my customers, so my customers, 1, return to me, 2, want to party or join, and 3, so they refer me so I can continue growing my customer base. Servicing them with some sort of, either it's a mail system, or you have like a text system where you text them and thank them for their order. Whatever your customer system is going to look like, establish it and stick to it and do it consistently. I have always had some sort of mail system, because I knew from the get-go that retaining my customers is going to help me. Now, I bought a house last May, and so I moved an hour and a half away to a small town. My customers are still buying from me. They didn't have to pay shipping before because they were all local. They're paying shipping now because I service them so well that they don't want to go anywhere else. And when I used to send those $4 packages and bumped it down to 2 stamps, no one has complained. My sales have actually grown, and here's why. Because I have been able to send more mail, more samples, and do more follow-ups because of those samples, and gain more sales. They are buying more. I am outreaching and building my customer base. So Monday is devoted to mail day. And so what I do is I go on my workstation and I look at my sheet. I have I have like a stack of papers, and I write down, so everyone that I did last week or the prior week for my mail, because with 2 stamp mail, well, since I'm not using pirate ship, I need to figure out a way of how I'm going to track that. Pen and paper is the easiest for me with that system, and so I'll see who was my last person that I sent mail to, and then I go into my order history and I find that name, and everybody above that name, that's who I write down, and that is who is getting mail for that week. That was a tongue twister. So my mail week is for the orders the week prior, and that is my main focus for that day. And here's the thing, with my mail system, I am already prepped and prepared, so I save myself time. I know what I'm sending them. If I have created something in Canva, I know exactly what it is. I just need to print, cut, and put in the envelope. I am not sitting down in my office figuring out what I am going to put in there. Fun fact, if you all are in the Bliss page, which I would assume you are since Tracy DeMario is our SSD, I share frequently what my mail looks like in there, so you guys get a first-hand visual of exactly what I'm sending. And I have even shared template links, so if you go back to that group, and I'm pretty sure Tracy hashtagged it, but if you search my name and then mail, it should pull up a bunch of things so you guys can get a first-hand visual of exactly what I'm sending. And again, it is no more than 2 stamps. So my system for mail is very duplicatable at any level within the business. That is one thing that I changed as well. So after SFR, I had like this new spark within me, and I wanted to make sure all the things that I am doing within my business is well, I'm going to say most things within my business are duplicatable for any level. So a brand new consultant can afford to do this, all the way up to an SSD. They can do this as well. So Monday is mail day. Now, once I'm done with my mail, if I have another task that I need to do, such as if I need to make samples. So like last Friday, I ended up working because I needed to make harvest collection samples, wax samples. So if I have a smaller task like that that I need to do, then that is my secondary, but I need to get my primary task done first before I move to the secondary, because I want to make sure I'm servicing my customers first before I'm making those samples. Okay, so Tuesday, I originally did not have a system on a Tuesday, and I had to look at my business as a whole and figure out what was an area that I needed to work on, that I needed to strengthen. Well, leadership was something that I needed to engage more with, build more into, and so I turned my Tuesday into Teamy Day. So when I'm in my office, I go through my leadership report and I look and see, where are my people at? Who is close to active? Who is close to 500 and has a team? Because if they're not at 500, they're not even going to get paid off their team. That's really important within the business. Is if you're going to build a team, you need to have at least 500 PRV for that month to even be eligible to be paid off your team. So that is what I do. I go in there and see, or who's close to a promotion, who needs to get certified, who has a team but needs help with leading that team. So those are the things I do on a Tuesday, and I text them and I reach out to them and see. I will say, I think that has really helped grow my, I'm just going to say business, my business as a whole, because I cannot run, or I can run the business, but I cannot build it all by myself. As a star director, if you look at the compensation plan and you look and see everything that I am eligible to be paid off of, well, that requires a team. There's only so much I can do with my PRV, and so throwing in that Teamy Tuesday where I focus just on them has definitely helped me grow my business. So if you don't have a team already, that's fine, because guess what we're doing in this program? We're building teams, and we're going to build strong teams. So, Teamy Day. Wednesday, I do Work It Wednesday. I don't always host them, but if the Work It Wednesday is in the afternoon, and I can be flexible on that because Kinsley can be running around, I am on Work It Wednesday. So today I hosted Work It Wednesday, and that's when I did my samples. I needed to make more samples. I did those, and I mailed them out. And they're going in the mailbox tomorrow. And what I did is I created a jot form, and I posted this in my local swap page. So I live in a small town. We have like maybe 5,000 people in the town that I live in. And as I said, we moved last May, so I'm still brand new to the area. I do have some local customers because I am a baseball mom. Some of the baseball moms do buy from me. But I'm still trying to reach local people. And so I was like, you know what? I'm going to utilize this swap page in my small town. And I created a jot form, and the selfie actually that I shared in here today with the 3 harvest bars is exactly what I shared in there. And I told them that we had a new wax collection that just dropped. The harvest collection, aka fall trio, because that's what my signage says is the fall trio. I listed the 3 bars, and I said, simply fill out this form if you would like to receive a sample. Because here's why: I'm not just going to be mailing out samples and not getting their contact information, because that does not benefit my business. Then I have hardly any way to follow up with them. So I make it to where I have to get their name, obviously their address, because I need to know where to ship it, their phone number, and then their email is optional, which I will go into that in just a minute. Their email is optional, and then I also threw in there, are you interested in starting a Scentsy business for $22? And I did have I had someone say yes. So I was able to have that conversation with her today. All because I shared in a local swap page, and I'm going to mail some samples out that's going to cost me 1 stamp. But I have all their contact information. So guess what? They go out tomorrow. What is today? Wednesday, Thursday. They should have them by next Friday. I love me a follow-up Friday. Why? Because it's payday for most people. So next Friday, I will go through that job form and I will text all those people and follow up with them about their samples. That is how you get new customers. If you are sending out samples and you are not following up, you are leaving money on the table. And I have been leaving money on the table because I am guilty of doing this. I used to send out samples and not follow up. But I won't do it anymore. I will not do it anymore. So that is what I did today for my Work It Wednesday. And I was on Work It Wednesday for maybe an hour, maybe a little over an hour. And that is what I accomplished in that time. And I also learned some new things while I was on that Work It Wednesday that I'm going to try out within my business. So if you are not hopping on any of those Work It Wednesdays, you are missing out on some business building things. You're missing out on IPAs, income producing activities. Lots of leaders and other teamies, they get on there and we just work and share what we're doing. It's very casual and we have a great time. So that's what I do on a Wednesday. I do the Work It Wednesday. Now, if I'm not able to get on the Work It Wednesday, best believe I'll fill something else in that spot. There's something that I can find to do within my business. Thursday, this is where my email comes into play. So on Thursday is when we get the LTO announcements. I have an email, a weekly, I call it my Scented News Connection, I think is what I call it, Scented News Connection. And it's a weekly email that I send out to my customers who want to be emailed about specials and LTOs and whatever else I want to share with them. I create it on Thursday because that is when Scentsy announces any LTOs that we have coming on that Monday. Excuse me. And so I go into Canva and I create my nice, pretty newsletter, and I use Flowdesk to send that email. So, remember I just said that I shared that jot form in my local swap page? Several people put their email in there. I am going to add those people. Actually, I already added them into my newsletter. I did that today during Work It Wednesday. But if it was a Thursday, that's what I would be doing. I would be making sure I added in my customers that want to be in that newsletter. I would create the newsletter and then I would schedule it to go out on a Friday. And I schedule it for a Friday because, again, people get paid on a Friday. If they're going to buy, I feel like it's going to be on a Friday. So that is when my newsletter goes out. It goes out like 6 a.m. on a Friday. So it's the first thing they see when they open their email. Because I'm not playing around. I am here to build a business, make sales, build a team. I'm here for it. So that's what I do on a Thursday. I do my email. And again, once all of those 4 main things are done, then I can go on to secondary task and do sampling or whatever else it is that I need to do. That is what my week looks like. So 4 days a week for 2 hours, 8 hours a week is what I spend on those systems. Now, don't think that's all that I do in my business, because you guys know I'm on social media. That is where I get sales. Honestly, I don't do a lot of parties. Not that I'm against them. I just don't. I do social media. That's just what it is right now. But if you're going to be on social media, you have to be consistent. You cannot share one time and think everybody's going to want to buy from you, because they're not. If you have a hard time, if you want to work on social media and you have a hard time being consistent on there, what I would strongly recommend is setting an alarm in your schedule to remind you, hey, you need to share something on social media. Hey, what did you have for dinner tonight? You need to share that. People love food, okay? I'm a foodie, and that's how I get new recipes. People like seeing food. Or maybe you're with your kids. Like for me, I'm at the ball field. I'm sure I will share that tonight, that I am at the ball field. Everybody knows I am a baseball mom. Everybody knows that I have 5 kids. Everybody knows Kinsley's a toddler and she's terrible. You see what I'm saying? People know because I share about it. So set that alarm so you can start being consistent on social media, because here's what will happen is you will then start doing it without the alarm, and that is when it becomes a habit. That is when you don't have to remember to do it because it automatically happens. Systems turn into habits, which then leads to success. I'm telling you, if you follow that, you will be successful within your business. And now what I do for systems may not work for you. How my schedule is may not work for your schedule. You may have a full-time job. So you may have to do evening things. You may have to use your lunch hour to do follow-up. That's just how it's going to be until you get to the point in your business where you have more freedom. But until then, you are going to have to come up with some sort of system that you can do consistently that's going to work for your business. And it's going to look different than Jackie's. It's going to look different than Tracy's. It's going to look different than mine. Everyone's schedule is different. But if you want to be successful, you have to put forth that effort and do it. If you think success just came and showed up at my doorstep, I guarantee you it did not. I have overcome a lot of struggles, a lot of obstacles within my life, within the 6 years of my business. But I always kept my head down and I worked, even when I didn't feel like it. I had a hysterectomy 8 weeks ago, and can I tell you what? That first week was awful, but you want to know what I did? I still shared on social media. I still made sales. And you want to know what? My hysterectomy, I said it was 8 weeks ago. That was the end of July. My PRV in August was 2,500. So tell me again why you can't be successful because you have a busy life. Or tell me again why you can't be successful because X, Y, and Z just happened. Or you're at the ball field. Or whatever is going on. Because I guarantee you, I can bust that excuse every single time because I've been there, I've done that. It's gonna come down to how bad do you want it? How bad do you want to be successful? And success looks different for every single person. For me, I want to get to the tippy top. I want to make $10,000 paychecks. Actually, even if I just made more than what my husband brings home a month, I would be happy. But I'm not going to get to that point if I don't do anything, if I don't work my systems, if I don't show up consistently, if I don't turn all these things into a habit to where I just automatically know what I need to do. And this program, you guys, I'm so excited because it's going to give you all the tools that you need, and you can pick and choose which tools are going to work best for you. And you may see something and you may think, oh gosh, that's not going to work for me. Have you tried it? Do you know for sure if it's going to work or not? Try it. Try all the things and see what works best for you. I've done lots of things. You want to know what? My follow-up system is on here. And we don't have Amy. I never used Amy. It wasn't for me. I have anxiety, and it popping up to tell me I got 1,600 things to do. That's not for me, okay? And so before we had Amy, people were doing this binder system, and I tried it. I tried the binder system. It was terrible. It was not for me. Y'all want to know what I do instead? It's so simple too. It's so simple. I schedule my text messages. So when I see that I have an email that I have an order, I immediately go into my workstation and I see what that person ordered. Because when I send that thank you text, if it's a scent that I absolutely love, I want them to know, oh my gosh, that Jack's Obsession bar that you ordered is my favorite and it's in my club. I get it forever. Now you just opened up the conversation of their joining the club, of them always getting their bar. Now they know that you love that scent and you just started building that relationship with them. You started that conversation. And then here's what I do next. When I get that email that their order has shipped, guess what I do? I text them and I say, hey, so-and-so, oh my gosh, your order has already shipped. Because you know, shipping has been on fire lately. They have been shipping things quick. And they'll text back, thank you, whatever. Right then and there is when I schedule that text message to go out 2 weeks later on a Friday. Because you know I love follow-up Friday. Friday is payday. So if they're wanting to order something, again, I feel like it's going to be on a Friday. But that's not the point of my follow-up text. Is not for them to order on that Friday. My point of that is to show them that, hey, I'm here for you. I'm here to give you good customer service because the world is lacking that nowadays. And I want you to get good customer service for me. And I just ask them, hey, Susan, how are you loving your new Scentsy goods? With the question, so they have to respond back to me. And I will say 9 times out of 10 people do respond back. Sometimes they don't, and that's okay. But that is my follow-up system. It is so easy. It's scheduled text messages, so I don't even have to think about it. It is already done. How simple is that? Tell me y'all can't do that. And if you have a phone where you can't schedule text messages, I use Project Broadcast for my onboarding with my team, and you can schedule messages in there too. I will say there is a fee. I do pay $15 a month for Project Broadcast, but it benefits my business because it sets up automation. Things that I don't have to think about doing so I can have my mind elsewhere. Or I can be running around with my toddler and that onboarding text already went out for me. So my new teamies are set up for success with automation. It's a time saver. It's a sanity saver. And it helps me within my business. And then I also use Canva and I use Flowdesk. So Flowdesk and Canva and Project Broadcast, I do pay for those 3 things, but it is an investment into my business. My follow-up system, free because I use my cell phone. Engaging on Facebook, free because I use my cell phone. And social media is free. And if you're not engaging on people's posts, they're not going to see your post. So you need to set that alarm to remind you. Hey, go spend 15 to 20 minutes engaging on your friends' post. I personally work on Facebook. I do have an Instagram. I just haven't found that it's my jam yet, and that's fine. Everybody works their business differently. My friend Jackie loves Instagram. I hate Instagram. But we're both successful. See how we can be completely different? We're completely different platforms, but still be successful within this business. So what works for one will not work for another. And that's okay. You need to find what works for you. And that is what this group is going to help with. So that is all that I want to share with you guys. I am going to hop off and go back to the ball field. I love to do a Q&A, but because I need to watch my son play, I'm going to ask that if you do have a question, just drop it below on this video and I will be checking in and out, and I will be more than happy to answer whatever question you have. If you would just please keep it on this video so everything stays in one place, that would be greatly appreciated. Otherwise, I do want to thank you for taking time to listen to me, and hopefully you guys have a fabulous rest of your evening.